Oh, are we going? Are we going?
Oh,
We're going. We're going. What's
We're not gonna go.
Thunder Goose?
welcome back to another Thunder Goose episode.
We're doing something new today. Again.
We're doing something the same, but it is new.
No, we're doing something new today again. Now, it is a microsode,
Yeah,
but
we like the name. We'll keep it.
I don't know, based on what you were saying, having 8 pages about, I don't know if that's going to fit within 15 to 20 minutes.
Well, this is what we're gonna. So this is
a special microsode also, just because of the anime situation this week as well.
that is true. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anime. For the next 2 weeks, our anime episodes are going to be only 2 episodes because this week or
Discussing 2 episodes of anime, not
episodes of
2
anime.
episodes of, yeah.
yes, yeah. No, thanks for the clarification. Because I guess people like to take breaks, which is
Well,
understandable.
Well, first off, Mashl's, yes, there's a big thing in Japan with production right now, apparently.
Mhm.
I didn't look into it. All I know is Mashal had a recap episode this week, and next week Hell's Paradise has it off. So,
Hey, we'll take it. Gives us a break, and I'm glad that it gives other people a break, and it's needed.
it's
So,
fine. Yeah, it's fine. We'll fill our time otherwise. Right?
Yeah, so this week, so what we're kind of trying to do, I think, is both Luke and I really enjoy a lot of kind of deep dives into niche things, right? And I feel like that's a reason that a lot of you guys are here, is anime is not as niche as it used to be, right? I mean, I think it's like pretty wide, but I mean, I guess still probably pretty niche compared to a whole majority of people who go, what the fuck are these cartoons, right? So I think for us, I know of the content that we enjoy, like, diving into. We have different tastes, obviously, too. But I think a lot of the content that we enjoy diving into, whether they're like, creepypasta icebergs or, I mean, there's just like so many different things. Crazy Reddit posts that like take you on like, just crazy
analog horror as a
Analog
whole,
horror.
or liminal spaces, the back rooms, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
It's always fun.
So what we wanted
dig
to
that
try is give you guys bite-sized episodes. And again, it could be longer than 25, 30 minutes, but to me, that's the goal. I think the goal is that we try to aim around there for the most part.
And we'll see.
And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I just saw the title of your thing, and I was like, oh, geez, okay, we're going there.
We're going there, dude.
So here we go.
Genocide in the no.
Okay.
No. So
Genocide in the
we are this week. We're gonna talk about stuff, and it's gonna be a little different. Also, in the way that it's gonna be a little bit more story-told driven, if that makes sense.
It's going to be. I think the best way to say this is I'm going to be more reactionary for most of this.
Yes.
And Joel will be leading.
Yes, but I will say this, and this is more so for you because we talked about this a little bit, but we'll do a little bit of a hashing out with our fans. But you're free to just jump in at any time, say anything. You're not going to interrupt the flow.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Cool.
I
Let's
want
do
that.
it. Yep.
So
I'm going to
you're
interject
like, what the fuck?
everywhere.
Yeah,
on everything.
Throw the goofs, throw the actual questions. I can't promise I'll know everything, because I watched. I'm gonna link all the videos that I watched, like in the video that you're watching right now. So you're seeing it, but I probably spent between 3 to 4 hours on different things, watching and editing and doing yada yada yada. So I'm not a master. I don't know every single thing.
Are you reading from a script, or are you just reading from a notes?
Both. So I wrote some, and then I have kind of just random notes that sometimes I'm just like, well, I didn't find I didn't find enough, or I didn't have enough time to dive in further than I would want to.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. And if you have any knowledge of this subject too,
I do have a little bit of knowledge. I have not done a deep dive of that, but I do know some of the things of Undertale. But I didn't say that.
That's okay. That's what it is. We're talking about Undertale, the dark side.
I'm really sorry for that, man. That was a really big goof from me.
No, that's great. That's funny. You bitch. No, that is perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So, without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome, guys, to another microsode where we'll be diving into bite-sized pieces of the lore, theories, and mysteries that pique our interest. I actually did write a little intro thing. I totally forgot.
I'm super.
Today we are talking about the dark and mysterious lores lurking beneath the surface of a beloved indie game, Undertale, and its enigmatic. See, I try to be
You used a
cool.
great word there.
I did use a good word. Characters. From the elusive Dr. Gaster to the hidden depths of Toral's motives. We'll be taking
Toriel's motives?
Toriel. See, I might fuck up these.
Toriel.
What did I say? Torals?
I said
I
Toriel.
said like I said Toral.
You said Toral. I said Toriel. So Toriel or whatever.
Toriel.
Which is it's tutorial.
Toriel.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Depths of Toriel's motives. We'll take a deep dive into the darkness that lies within this crafted masterpiece.
The thing I think well, let's get.
Go ahead. What do you got?
No. I think I know more about Toriel's true motives. I thought, but we'll get to that because
okay.
I kind of wouldn't mind just letting you like talk. Oh shit, my words are garbage.
Okay, I'm gonna take it back.
Okay, we're done. Moving on.
No,
I think I know a little bit about Toriel. So
okay,
but I'll let it play out first.
You just keep correcting me because I fuck up names all the time.
It's tutorial, right? Like that's
tutorial. Oh
Toriel?
My god. Yes.
Did you not know that?
No, I did know that.
Oh,
I just kind of it's one of those
Toriel.
moments where you're just like, oh yeah, duh. Okay, so a little background before we dive into the deep, gritty bullshit. It's actually really cool. So this game Undertale was developed by Toby Fox. Shocker for anyone who likes the game. He also had some help.
Oh yeah, what? He did. Everyone knows we like him.
Yeah, we know. So yeah, we like him.
We would nominate him for he was the I kind of nominated him last year for best soundtrack. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from the Pokemon, huh?
Yeah,
because
he Area Zero theme.
He's been legitimately getting around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I do love that he's getting the recognition he deserves. He also has some help from Temmie Chang. And some other composer artists who that kind of worked on different little smaller pieces. But overall, Toby Fox and Temmie. Toby was in the majority. Temmie definitely had a lot larger of a hand than other people who worked on it as well. But ultimately pretty much a one-man show with some help.
Cool.
It gained significant attention and popularity for its unique gameplay mechanics, memorable characters, and the captivating storyline with its mysterious or mysteries that often peer into the depths of darkness itself when looked. You like that?
Ooh. Did you write that yourself?
I did.
That was eloquent, man.
Thanks, man. I'm trying. I'm not always really good at that, but
watch you mess up the word night later.
Watch me mess up Sans name. No.
And I'll look over it. Every there is the incorrect there.
Yeah, dude.
No apostrophes.
If you read this, it would be horrible.
Like 47 ain'ts in a row.
I'm not gonna lie, it probably is all the wrong there's.
Ain'ts is great, whatever.
No,
ain't
okay.
Ain't.
Taint.
Sorry,
Taint.
Take it seriously, dude. Come on.
In Undertale, players control a child who has fallen into an underground realm populated by monsters. The game offers players the choice to either befriend or fight these monsters. The combat system, which allows players to avoid conflict and resolve encounters through non-violent means, which is honestly one of the. I'm trying to think of other games that do this, and I can't really think of any that do like the talking mechanic, and every single fight can be won without attacking.
An RPG like that.
You can do that? Can you do that?
I don't think a lot of RPGs. I mean, like the Persona series or the Shin Megami Tensei series has always had talking with the opponent to even move them onto your side.
Oh,
as a mechanic in it. So like, that's about the closest you're gonna get. Though, and that's way it's kind of hard to compare that to, just because of the nature of that game being all about building stronger teams.
Yeah,
like obviously the end goal in Undertale is way different than SMT, but
100%.
But the ability to talk to the opponent and conversate and end the fight, you can do that in SMT.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
So
that's sick.
Except for this game, Undertale went hard and did it with every single encounter. SMT, you still got boss fights you got to win.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
I think the coolest part about Undertale was that like progression wasn't hindered when you chose the pacifist route.
Right.
So
if anything, it made the story like better.
Well, the story got better, but you didn't feel like the game was getting unfair. Like,
right.
It was like the difficulty was somehow balanced to work for a level 1 player the entire way through, right? Because you're not leveling up when you resolve it peacefully.
Right.
You're just ending the fight.
Yeah,
and
getting gold or whatever,
or a friend.
Yeah, or a friend. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, right? So,
exactly.
Anyways, go on.
So Undertale received some critical acclaim for its innovative. Wait, did I fucking say that?
I might have already jumped ahead of you.
That's okay. So we'll just jump ahead. The game's emphasis is on a player's choices and consequences. it garnished praise from other players and critics alike. Undertale has since become a cult classic and has why did I say garnered a bunch of times? I thought I was cool.
Cool
Garnered a dedicated fan base. Its impact on the indie gaming scene and its unconventional take on RPG mechanics have made it significant and influential title within the gaming community. So I mean, we've talked about this, so I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but I feel like Undertale for sure is one of my favorite games, like still to date. I've loved Toby Fox's world. I love like his kind of take on just like humanity and kind of like the characters that he made. Every single person feel like the world feels real. And I think it's very hard to do that. I think it is one of the first games I've ever played in my life that just everyone feels like real people, you know?
Yeah.
They feel like real friends and stuff. So I do allow that. But that being said, there are some darker elements and themes present in Undertale. While the game features a charming and whimsical surface, it also delves into deeper and sometimes unsettling aspects of its narrative. One notable aspect of the game's exploration of mortality, or is mortality and the consequences of your actions, whether they be like violent. Undertale presents players with choices throughout the game, emphasizing the impact of their decisions. Right, so the consequences can be profound and have lasting effects on the characters and the gaming world. The game explores themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the consequences of violence. Additionally, Undertale contains characters and storylines that touch upon sensitive topics such as loss, loneliness, and existentialism. The game's
Existentialism. That's a big word.
That's a big word.
How do you say
How do
it?
you say it? Existentialism.
Let me look at the word. That's a hard one for me to.
Right here. Existentialism.
Yeah, you said it right. I just don't. That's just a hard word to say.
Chat.
No, you said it right. I think you said it right.
There's no chat here. This is podcast.
It's just a big word.
It's a big word.
It's one of the ones I have a hard time saying.
But yeah, so to kind of cut that into it, it's like it's a game that your actions have consequences, and what's kind of crazy too is that this game remembers the choices that you make. Now, if you're playing something like this on Switch, it has a lot less impact, I think, than it did on like PC. Because like on PC, I would like restart it or reboot it or delete it and bring it back, and it would still have pieces of memory or different things, or it would remember it's like, hey, you tried to delete this and you can't delete like what you've done. And I'm like,
well, you can.
You can.
There's just save data. You got to go.
Right. You have to go to the right places and do the right things.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything can do that. I'm just saying it's very fun programming.
But it is a great
like Doki Doki Literature Club.
Illusion, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Without getting super spoiler into that, but
but the illusion of it, like remembering, hey, like what's the whole example of that is like, hey, you can pursue the genocide route. Which spoiler, there's a genocide route in this game where you just kill everyone. Like you literally destroy all of the area, the cave system, whatever this is, and then if you try to start a new game, there's nothing, right? Like they're still gone. So there's a commitment in this game that you don't see in a lot of other games. Like obviously there's a commitment to your world in the playthrough, but there's a commitment to the game's like multiple, like I don't know how to say that one. There's a commitment to like just repeat playthroughs in this world. I don't understand I don't know what to do, but
I don't know what to do.
I don't know. It's just crazy because you can finish the game on a normal playthrough and kill people and then restart and be just fine. But once you choose genocide, that's what has the permanent effect.
Right. It's crazy.
So,
it is crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking, I guess just moving right into that. So, the genocide. I mean, like, I guess we can kind of just dive into. I mean, see, this is the part just for our fans. Like, this is going to be slightly messy. It's not going to be perfect because this is the first time I've ever done anything where there's a little bit more script to it. Because I honestly enjoy more the shooting the shit and kind of like just going back and forth. So whenever Luke wants to, I dive in. So if it takes a little sec for me to get back into it, I do.
Now that Joel's told me he loves that, though, I'm never going to do it.
Well, fuck.
He's talking the entire time now. I quit.
Okay, so obviously, let's just do this. Moving on to the darker theories associated with Undertale, we encounter the infamous, which we just talked about, Genocide Route, and the character Chara. I believe I'm saying that right. Chara.
Is that what people say online?
Kara. Maybe it's
Kara.
Kara.
I remember it was supposed to be a word that you could write down multiple ways, so it was fluid, like in terms of it. That's our feminine versus masculine.
Yeah.
You know,
Kara, Chara, Kara, Bara,
I don't
Dara,
know.
Farah. But Undertale offers different routes, including this route, where players intentionally kill every monster that they encounter. One dark theory suggests that Kara, we'll just call her Kara, the character, or what is it?
It's
Kara?
them. I mean, that's what I
Or
think.
them
Toby. I think that's.
suggests
I don't
that
remember who.
them, right?
Yeah. It's not Toby who calls them that, but like there's specifically no gender tied to the character.
Correct.
Yeah.
The character associated with the Genocide Route is a malevolent entity or a representation of the player's own dark impulses.
Ew, gross.
According to this theory, Kara's influence grows stronger as players progress through the Genocide Route, ultimately leading to a disturbing conclusion, which is
Everyone is
dead, and they will never come back.
and you have murdered everyone.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you can literally
Yeah.
walk through the entire game and no one's there.
Have you done that?
I have not on, because I'll be honest, the Genocide Route 2 is the hardest one to beat. I've watched people do it. I attempted to do it on my PC. I don't really want to do it on my Switch. Mainly because I'm like, I don't want to. I don't know.
Undying was hard enough on Genocide, but then the end of that game. I mean, obviously this was full spoilers, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah,
so,
we've already said this. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna have like
I'll spoil the tech.
thing,
Yeah, obviously that's like okay. So not even Sans like Undying is hard like enough in my opinion. You know, with the bouncing but like beams that come towards you,
Dude,
or lightning bolts, like
they're all crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude.
Well, and that's the thing too, where I feel like Toby Fox is punishing us for doing this thing that he's allowing us to do, right? Like it's so interesting.
There is a meta narrative in there, right? Like there's something like obviously this is getting really hard and way more difficult than the other playthroughs because this should be like difficult to do. Like this shouldn't be easy. Like this should be a hard process.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moral implications with pursuing a genocide route in some ways. And then again, it's a video game, right? But like, you know,
yeah.
So
100%. I totally agree with that. Another dark thing is the experimentation on souls. So this is kind of something that is mentioned throughout the entire game through different characters, but this series speculates about the nature of soul manipulation within Undertale. So it suggests that the various experiments conducted by characters like Dr. Alphys, which we'll get into later, because that's to me the darkest thing is Dr. Alphys, and potentially other characters such as Dr. Gaster, involving the unethical treatment and exploitation of souls, leading to unsettling implications about the nature of the underground and its inhabitants. And we'll
is this the hell theory?
Hmm?
Is the hell theory that you're in hell the whole time?
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard that one. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if Toby would never confirm something like that if like that's how he developed it, because that would really that really kind of takes away some of the magic. If it's I don't know if the game feels as magical if you're saying yeah, it all takes place in hell, you know, whatever.
Right.
But like because I think if you say that, then you'll get every person as like a monster or like a demon.
Right. It's like why wouldn't you try to kill him? Like why wouldn't you try to doom it? Right?
But like Flowey makes so much sense, you know, as if like you're in hell. You know what I mean? Like Flowey makes so much more sense with like how powerful he is. But
right.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're good.
And then this is a little bit more vague. So the true nature of the underground, right? So some theories explore, which we'll get into to some degree. Again, we're not going super hardcore into every single one of these, but some theories explore the idea that the underground itself is a sinister and oppressive realm. So like this is kind of more the concerning dark secrets and being a reflection of the darker aspects of humanity. These theories delve into the nature of the monsters, their history, and the circumstances that led to their banishment underground, painting a bleaker picture of the game's world. It's important to note that many of these theories are interpretations and speculation from fan community and may delve into disturbing themes or explore unsettling possibilities. However, the core themes of this game are empathy, kindness, and nonviolence. So a lot of these theories, though, I will say a lot of some of the theories will, like, even like Dr. Gaster's stuff, like I feel like some of the fascinating stuff is that the code, and that's what I really wanted to dive into. I didn't have the time, so maybe a different one, maybe not the next one I do, but maybe something after that. I can go more into like the actual coding, because people have been breaking it down, doing some things, and I have some of that here. People break down songs, people break down other things, and kind of there's a lot of motifs. There's a lot of similar things that you know, characters that are very similar that you're like, oh, this character could be related to this character. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, I'm just going to, man, this is the harder part because I
have to
wrote,
pick, huh?
I got to pick on where I wanted to go.
Yep.
But okay, so let's just dive into it. So we'll do some characters. So we'll kind of start off really easy. Flowey, right? So Flowey is you're first greeted with this character as a nice, friendly, helpful NPC that's teaching you how to play the game, which soon you realize is an extremely sinister person that wants your demise. And hypothetically, the demise of every single person there. So something that I actually totally forgot about is that Flabby stalks you through the whole game.
Yeah.
So there's like times where if you like
You'll
go
see
out
a
and you
yellow
come
flower.
back and you can see a flower like dive, and
Yep.
I kind of forgot that was happening, right?
Yeah.
So I always like thought that was very interesting. I believe that the one of the things that I was reading talked about how Flowey has, with Azrael kind of because like they're like the same person, right? Am I saying Azrael, Ryan? Azrael.
I don't remember that much about that, but I'll go with you on that. If
So again, these are just
is
theories.
Flowey's the dark part of Azrael, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Or them. I'm trying to remember the exact thing because like the whole golden flower. So there's a huge theory on a golden flower and that Alphys put determination or one of the souls of the dying child into Flowey and like that, right?
I remember that.
Yeah,
That's the actual lore, though, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So that person, so they're saying in the game that like they controlled everything. Like they've played the video game. So like the kind of meta behind it is like they've been playing this game over and over and over, doing everything. They've been nice to everyone. They've done horrible things to other people, and then you came along, and that's why they're so interested in you. Is because they're like, who the fuck are you? You shouldn't have this kind of power too.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fun little thing. And we can talk more about Flowey later, but so Toriel is
hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I got it right, baby.
Hell yeah.
So while Toriel is generally regarded as a compassionate and caring character, the Undertale fan community has developed a few dark theories surrounding her as well.
Super interested in because one of them is cannibal, right? One of them is she's preparing to eat you.
Yeah, so that one, I honestly didn't use this one. We can talk about it for a second because I did feel that it wasn't not as much. Like again, substance. I get it. I think it would be more so. I think I subscribe to a theory that she would be, instead of like wanting to eat you, that she might be just like the caretaker of the soul, like the people who are gonna die. Like that's why, like she's not really like doesn't really care as much about you as what you're saying. It's kind of just more of an act, and she wants, she's like, this is my job. I'm set up here as like Asgore's wife, and I'm here collecting souls because her house is pretty much by the place where people fall, and then there's already been 6 people, right? And she's like, hey, I don't want to go out there, so she's almost like coercing you to like want to leave, right? So there's like this element where it's like, oh no, don't go out there, and you do, and then you die. How about that, right? You're faced with actual danger. So there's that kind of stuff too. So one theory suggests that Toriel's overprotective nature and reluctance to let the player leave the ruins stem from a darker motive. So speculations propose that Toriel may have experienced the past trauma or loss related to humans, which I don't feel like that's not really a theory. That's real. So I feel like because it's her kid that died. Yeah. So that is that's not a theory that is part of the game. But yeah, so one of my favorite theories is the Stockholm syndrome theory. So she has surrounded her house with traps so no one can escape. Right? So she's showing you the traps, building your confidence, being like, hey, like here's like these things.
So the theory is that she developed the ruins, not.
Yes. Yeah, so she left, got away, and then she's like lonely, and so the fact that the only thing that she has is some random jokes on the other side of this wall, right? Or this doorway. Yeah. And so she's like refusing to go back. So she's like, any contact is she's just doing so much to keep them, manipulate you to be here. Like she's giving you food, which again, these are all great things, nice things. And honestly, I don't know if I really buy into that she's a bad person. I think my heart broke the biggest when the first time I ever played and I just attacked like a normal person would and you kill her. And I'm just like, I was like, holy fuck, what did I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you
That was
know,
a hard
like
moment.
it is a super hard moment.
Yeah.
So there is a degree, like I think they're fun, right? So none of these theories I'm saying like are, yes, this is what it is. I think almost all of these are just like usually pretty fun. So I think like the whole idea that she is kind of like, hey, why don't you stay here? Let me coerce you to stay here. And the eating thing is kind of funny too because like she makes pies, right? And they're pies of snails and like other things like that. So it's like, yeah, so like maybe you're the next pie.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So I do like that a lot.
Yeah. I could see that being like I don't know if like part of me is like, well, the end of the game kind of gives away the goose there, you know, with the reconciliation and the good ending.
Mm-hmm.
But if the good ending wasn't like that good with like because since she's in the good ending because she's alive,
right?
That makes that kind of hard unless you're talking about a non-pacifist route.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah. It'd have to be like a non-pacifist route.
Yeah,
right?
it'd have to be like a non-pacifist storyline. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
or like you changed her heart and the good one, you know.
Yeah,
who knows? But so some of the reasons that people are saying is for like Stockholm or even just the other, it's like kind of the similar vein, but like you're a replacement child for her child, right?
Yes.
So you have like, so you're in her debt for saving you, right? So she's kind of, hey, I found you. I'm going to walk you through these traps. I'm going to do all these things, which I bet if I tried to, even playing the game, if I played the whole game or the first part, all the traps, and then did some stuff in the house and then left to go back out, I probably as a player would not remember the exact things to do, right?
Sure.
So it's kind of giving you false hope that she's like, I'm helping you. I'm doing these things for you. And then she wants you to forget your old life, right? She's like, you don't need those things. You're good. You're down here. It's fine. You don't need to go back up to the top. You don't need to do these different things.
That's the suspect part right there, dude.
Right. And then I think one of the biggest questions people ask is, why did she not just go with you?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, if she really, really cared about you and your safety, and she feels like she has the ability to protect you, why didn't she just go with you?
Yeah.
So that is, I think, like the theory. And again, I think I know the answer, and it's boring, which is it's a video game.
It's a game. Yeah.
And that's not really how this game works. You don't have a party, right? There's not multiple. In Delta Route.
I think you said it earlier, but Toriel's death is supposed to be a capstone to that tutorial and to let you know that, yes, there are consequences to
your
combat.
Actions. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So your actions, your actions. So
to combat.
So like if she didn't die, that might not come across as clear for the rest of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll move right along to everyone's favorite, Dr. Gaster.
Which one's Dr. Gaster?
So Dr. Gaster is technically not fully actually in the game, but he is a presence within the game, and he is a real character, as in he was the scientist before Alphys.
Okay.
And here, so let's see.
Go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Okay, so Dr. Gaster is a character within the lore and fan theories surrounding the game Undertale. Duh, that's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's important to note that Dr. Gaster goes and does not make an actual official appearance. I do want to go like this.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Because there is a way, and I don't know if it's hack only or if you have to do specific things, but there is a meter where it's like almost like it's like a fun meter, I think is what people call it, and it's a kind of what your character is like, how much fun that they're having. I don't exactly remember the things that go into what determines that, but people who hack it and give you less, I believe it's less fun, you will find a doorway that's magical, that's only when that code is happening.
Weird.
And it will have a character that is Dr. Gaster, supposedly, and as soon as you touch him, his face morphs and it disappears, and they'll never show up again.
That's a creepypasta, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then on top of that, something that I didn't know, because I've never seen this in the game, is Dr. Gaster actually has 3 followers in the game that you can randomly. It's randomly generated. So, and the probability of seeing them is insanely low.
This is real?
And it's real. It's
Okay.
in the game. And there's 3 of them, and they give a little bit of backstory here and there
Okay.
about him. So according to fan theories, Dr. Gaster is believed to be a former royal scientist in the underground, right? Preceding characters like Dr. Alphys. It is speculated that he conducted experiments involving time and space manipulation, leading to his eventual demise and disappearance. So I believe that is more. I don't know if it's fully fan theory. I think that they do mention that. So the idea is throughout the game, they talk about the man, or beware of the man with hands. Right. And they say that. I believe 2 different people say that twice, and it's very in passing, and you don't really fully know what that means. So references to Dr. Gaster can be found in the game's code, unused assets, and through cryptic messages that the players can encounter under specific circumstances, right? So it's very specific on how you interact with the world to where you get these things. These elements have sparked curiosity and speculation among fans, leading to various theories about his backstory and significance within Undertale universe. However, it is important to remember that Dr. Gaster's existence and roles are not explicitly confirmed, right? I will say this. One of my favorite things that I found, and I didn't write it in here because I didn't really know where to fit it in, but it just kind of feels good. So Toby Fox and Dr. Gaster are almost one and the same to some degree. I think a lot of people feel like it's almost like this. I don't know if it's
almost.
Yeah, like it's like, kind of know what's the word where it's like almost like Alfred Hitchcocking yourself into things.
It's
but it's like
yeah.
So, but the craziest thing is his his page got hacked by a black, I think it was just called the dark or something like that, and it was just a black circle, and then it said, "I know you've been looking for me, yada yada yada." And it was this whole thing for, I think it went for like a day or 2. And it was like, I think it was like a 24-hour thing where it's like, hey, like you're about to know me soon or whatever. And then that was Deltarune. And the link was a Deltarune thing. And so that's, again, cool ploy, cool marketing.
Yeah.
But again, it adds to the mystery. And the craziest thing to me, and I'll jump back up into some of this stuff because I think I misplaced one of the things because I don't see it. Man. So, shoot. Sorry, guys. This is a bummer because I definitely
just edit out. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I cut it out. I didn't put it back in. Well, I remember this because it's crazy. Okay, so I think I did cut it out on accident. Tight. Okay, here we go. I'm up here. But so there's 2. Now that I don't have it, I can't remember. I think it's called like MUS _ something, and it's a song. .ogg. So there's a song that plays when people try to break into, and I'll play it for you. I'll see if I can find it right now. But when people broke into the code for Undertale, what would happen is a message would play, and it was like a musical thing, and then it like ended up being at the very end of it like just laughter, and it was about like not sharing secrets. Let me let's see. But it's pretty much like a message that's encrypted. The voice goes up, the voice goes down, and whatever. And it's like it's supposed to be like this haunting thing. And people are like, oh, like maybe that's like a Dr. Gaster kind of saying like, beware of these like mysteries, right? So that's like a fun theory. And then I also in Deltarune, the cat in the castle that you can buy things from says a quote for it's like darkness yet even dark, or it's like it's getting darker, or my view of the world is getting darker yet darker still, which is something that is also related to, I believe, I think it's in, see, this is a bummer that I deleted this part.
Yeah.
But I believe that it was in the lab. So in the lab in Undertale is that there's a decrypted message about darker and darker still. This is it.
Yep.
Yeah, play it. Go ahead and play it.
Yep.
Hello, have some respect and don't spoil the game.
It's impossible to have mysteries nowadays.
Because of nosy people like you.
Please keep all of this between us.
If you post it online, I won't make any more secrets.
No one will be impressed.
It will be your fault.
Wow,
Yeah.
I've never heard that. So he literally says, if you share my secrets, I'm just not going to make any more.
Right.
That's so insane.
Which is so it's like a very interesting
What a power play.
Power play. But I will say, I mean, we got a lot more secrets, we got a lot more things, and again, I think it's part of I ultimately, to take all the fun out of it, it just seems like genius marketing.
Yeah.
But I also think that Toby Fox is very much a mysterious person
And likes it that way.
and likes it that way.
Yeah.
And I love the mystery revolving that. I will say one last thing. Revolving hypothetically the hell theory in Deltarune. Have you beat Deltarune? Did you play it? No?
Not really.
Okay, so there's a section in Deltarune where you are in the
Deltarune?
Deltarune?
Rune.
Rune.
Not ruin, right?
Deltarune.
Is it Deltarune?
R-U-N-E.
Rune. Okay.
Rune. Deltarune.
Okay.
So there's a part where there is a locked red door. That's in like a little bunker. It's like a bunker pretty much that would go down. And there's a song that plays by it, and it's like slow. But if you speed it up,
Is it that message?
if you speed it up to 666 speed,
Jeez.
it plays Dr. Gaster's song. song that's related to
666
him.
times or 6.666?
I don't know. It just the speed when people did it. That's just what it said. It was 666 speed, and I
Whoa.
looked it up multiple times, and that's like what people were doing.
Whoa.
So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And in Deltarune, there's a time where you call home. It's playing that theme, and you can hear a little bit of crackling on the end of it. So
Interesting.
you can't call home when you're in like the world of like the Deltarune, right? So when you're trying to call back someone in the real world or whatever it is, then you get that message.
Weird.
And so it's like so cool because it's like there's just connecting little pieces, and so this
But they're
like
like-
mystery of Dr. Gaster is still throughout the whole fucking thing.
But they're still like they're so like minutely connected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
It's
yeah.
like-
And like the pictures of
Yeah.
him are like there's like some assets of this character that are just in code that never were used.
yeah.
And it's just like so weird. Let's see. So after that derailment, I don't need to say that again because I already said
Is it
that.
Office next or
Yeah, let's dive into that.
'cause we're getting late on time on this one. So
Okay, perfect. Let's do it. What time is it?
7:25.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's go. Let's do the saddest one. Let's do jump at Alpha. So, another dark theory results on experimental.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to go fast. No. Okay, so I don't know why I put this right in front of. I was going too fast, I think, when I was at the very end of my thing, and I put different spots and different things, but that's okay. So, another dark theory revolves around the soul, so the experimentation of souls, right? So that's like a pretty big thing, and I think it's actually exposed only in the. Maybe it's done in the normal one too, but for sure in the pacifist route.
Okay.
So you get to explore after you do some things. Alphys's office has like there was a place where you could not go. It's exploded now. You can walk through, and then there's a door or like a elevator, and you can go all the way down it to a mysterious lab, right? So it speculates that the characters like Dr. Alphys and potentially Dr. Gaster are involved in unethical treatment and exploitation of souls, raising unsettling questions about the nature of the underground and its inhabitants. The series delves into the darker implications of soul manipulation and the consequences it may have on the game's world. I'm not going to go too insane into all of these, but Alphys, as you are going through this, you're meeting these abominations that are supposedly creatures that have been filled with determination, but then it did not like work correctly. So it kind of made these creatures angry, violent.
Imperfect experiments.
Exactly. They can't speak
Yeah.
regular, like they can't speak like the other monsters.
Can you,
like,
interact with these things?
Oh
at all?
yeah, you fight them.
You do?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And you can be pacifist to them as well.
Go on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
I
of
forgot about this game, like so much of this game.
Dude,
yeah.
I know it's for sure worth another playthrough. Like
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
So Alphys does not have so Alphys has a series of like logs that you can kind of read, and I kind of broke them down. There's a lot, so I'm broken them down into kind of like 7 ways, like the majority of you kind of going through. So the first few entries are just like it's Alphys discussing her experiments with determination, the potential for extracting it from the human souls. She expresses guilt over her actions and the harm she has caused to the monsters. So it's actually interesting because I think too there is a line in there where it's talking about having to like kill people and feeling like guilty about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty interesting. So Alphys expresses frustration with her inability to make progress in her research. She contemplates giving up and worries about the consequences of her experiments if her experiments are discovered. And then we get to a few more. She talks about encountering a strange creature made of amalgamites, fused beings created with her experiments. She expresses horror and sadness at the results of her work. So as she's doing this, they're getting darker, and I believe it's because of her mental state.
No, she's being told to do this.
Yes,
by
so hypothetically,
Asgore, right?
hypothetically, she's being told to do this by the Asgore. If for sure that is why this thing exists, and so you know how there's like 6 caskets with different hearts on them.
Sure. I mean, I know what you're talking about. So
the whole thing of like breaking the seal, they have like this thing that can do that, right? So, that is for sure why she's there as a doctor doing this stuff, doing these experimentations. But we didn't really understand like what the true purpose behind it was, right? And so this is kind of more what it is. So she discusses the concept of the true lab and how it was originally a part of the underground that was abandoned. She notes the strange properties of determination and its connection to save points. So that's kind of something that they break down that's kind of interesting where like, you know, how every single save point's like, oh, it's filling you with determination. It's filling you with determination.
Right,
so it's this constant thing of, you know, I mean, again, with that, I don't want to, we're spoiling everything, but there's some stuff I don't want to spoil. But, okay, so Alphys also reveals her guilt and shame over lying to Asgore about the fate of the fallen humans. So she expresses a desire to make amends and fix the mistakes she's made. So this is referencing the
experiments, right? The imperfect determination monsters. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then let's go. So the biggest thing is she expresses fear and uncertain about the future. She wonders if her actions have doomed everyone and questions her own worthiness. So this is something that is actually kind of interesting. And this is why I think that her is the dark story. So again, this is a little bit of a trigger warning for people who don't want to like talk about or hear anything about suicide and all those kind of things. So just, you know, skip maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes ahead. So these
you can't fight her.
You never fight her.
So
never once.
And the genocide route's pretty clear about the game being empty.
You never even fight her in there.
I see.
So for sure in the genocide route,
got it. Okay.
It is determined that she's killed herself, but even in the neutral, she's not at the end of the neutral. And so there's this thing where the only way to save Alphys from herself is with the like perfect peaceful route. And it is extremely because she has just been constantly turmoil, and she's like a very nice, fun character, but the internal turmoil of her is just like so deep and dark. And when you do go to the lab, you do get all of that. Pretty much. You do confront her and talk to her and all that kind of stuff too. So, let's see. I think. Oh, maybe this was it. This was it. I just had it right here. I just moved it to the bottom and dumbass.
There it is. You see right there?
Sick. Yeah. Okay. So, and then the last thing I will say this. There is a cool video room in there, and it's literally just like you take VHS tapes and plug them in and play them, and it tells you the whole story. And that goes into a little bit more of Alfie, and then also Dr. Gaster a tiny bit. So they have some of those things.
Cool.
But yeah, so I mean, like again,
it's morbid, man. Dang.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just. I'm not gonna shut this.
You don't want to do the outro?
No, I'll do the outro.
Do that outro.
I don't even know if it's that good. We'll see. This concludes No, no but let's conclude like our explanation of some of the darkest theories associated with Undertale. While these theories stem from the creativity and imagination of the fan community, they offer an intriguing glimpse into the depths of Undertale's lore and characters. As with many fan theories, it's important to approach them with an open mind and remember that they are not confirmed by the game's creator. Though some of these obviously are confirmed with the game's creator. But yeah, I mean, I know everyone kind of gets up in a fuss too, and I'm sure I said some things that might not even be correct. But yeah, so you know, critical.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I love this game. I think it's very fantastic. I love the fandom behind this game can also be a little bit weird. It's a little bit like Omori, to where the community is great, but sometimes they're fucking weird. Okay, and some of the shit.
We're not going to be coy about that. Okay,
No.
That's just any community, but we're talking about a game right now. It's called Undertale, and yes,
some of those
there's some weird
fan
shit
theories that you guys have out there about Sans and Papyrus. Stop it.
Knock it off.
Get some help.